Hello, buddy. It's that college football guy here in another video. Yeah, I'm here at home, wearing a shirt, back with the lovely wood behind me. But we're here to do the Mountain West Conference 2023 schedule predictions. Okay, first off, this is like the AAC just did, the Mountain West Conference is also going divisionless this season. So it's the best two schools, based on record. Those are the two that will battle it out based on record. So it has nothing to do with divisions anymore. So we're going to go through this. The subscriber schools in here. I'm going to make quick notations about all of them. And then we're going to go through and do the win-loss record for everybody and tell you who the champions are going to be with an overview of the conference. All right. This one was a little bit long one. Let's see if we can crank this one out. All right. First up, alphabetically as always, we have Boise State, conference runner-up last year. They went 10-4 overall last year. Andy Avalos in his third year, I think after having all the players in, he's finally making the team the way he wants it. Most of the key players on offense and defense came back, and Taylon Green filled in as starter for last season, and he did a great job at the end of the year. I think that he is now the full-time starter, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do. But what Boise State, our subscriber school, do this season? Well, they start the season on the road at Washington against Michael Penix and company. Eesh, sorry you're getting an L. Home against UCF. UCF comes cross-country. Everybody's thinking, oh, UCF's going to be a great team. UCF's a great team. They have things. They have the stuff. They're a Big 12 school. UCF going cross-country stinks. They have for a while. And you're going to upset Boise. Boise State's going to upset UCF and win this game at home. If you come back at home, stay at home against North Dakota, get another win. Then you go on the road at San Diego State. This is one of the two key conference opponents you played this year. And it's on the road, and last year you won because you're at home. This year you're going to lose because you're on the road. So that puts you a loss right there. It's a coin flip game. On the road at Memphis, another point program. This is also like a coin flip game. You're on the road at Memphis. You're also going to catch a loss there. But you come back home against San Jose State, get a big win. On the road at Colorado State. Colorado State's still trying to figure things out under Jay Norvell. That's a big win. Then you get the bye. So it's 7 in front of the bye, 5 after. Home against Wyoming, big win. At Fresno State. You're going to pull off a big win and beat Fresno State on the road. Because I'll get into what Fresno's issue is. Make sure I got something right here. Yeah, it's just Jake Hayner's gone, and they're going to be. I'll get into them, but you're going to beat them on the road. You beat New Mexico at home. You're going to go on the road to beat Utah State. And you're going to beat Air Force at home to finish the season 9-3, 7-1 in conference. Next up, Colorado State. That's on Jay Norvell's team. Real quick thing about them, they're not going to do a great thing this year because instead of going for FBS, almost all their starters came from FCS. Yikes. Start the season home against Washington State. Yeah, you're catching an L. Then they got their bye. Yeah, after week 1, they got the bye, so it's 11 straight games. Not smart. At Colorado, this is Prime's first game, in-state rivalry game. Yeah, you're catching the L. At Middle Tennessee State, they're going to go cross-country. It's going to be tough, but they got too much talent for you. You're going to catch an L. Home against Utah Tech, FCS, you get the win. At Utah State, you're going to catch a loss. Home against Boise State, you're going to catch a loss. At UNLV, it's a coin flip game, and you're on the road. That's a loss. Home against Air Force, that's a loss. At Wyoming, Wyoming's a lot better than you are. That's a loss. Home against San Diego State, doesn't matter. That's a loss. Home against Nevada, big win. You're going to beat Nevada again for the second year in a row. And on the road at Hawaii, you're going to pull it out, the two weak teams, and you're going to beat it to finish the year at 3-9, 2-6 in conference. Now we get to Fresno State subscriber school. They finished 10-4 like last season. The question is can Jake Hayner, now he's with the New Orleans Saints, incredible quarterback for Fresno State, carried him on his back to a conference championship, had an incredible season last season. He's gone with the New Orleans Saints, so Mike Keene from UCF, turn this dang thing off. Mike Keene from UCF is going to come in, and can he fill in the production? Well, we're going to see here. On the road at Purdue, and it's going to be tough for you to play. I think you're going to catch an L there. Home against Eastern Washington, you got to win. This game's going to shock some people. At Arizona State, you're on the road in Mesa, and I think they're going to catch you. I think Arizona State's actually going to upset. Remember, people say, it's a Power 5 school. I'm catching Arizona State to upset Fresno. Home against Kent State, that's a win. Home against Nevada, that's a win. At Wyoming, it's a tough game, but you're going to get the win there. And at Utah State, you're going to get the win there. Then you get the bye. So it's 7 in front of the bye, 5 after. Home against UNLV, catch the win. Home against Boise, as I mentioned in the previous one, you're going to catch a loss, unfortunately. At San Jose State, you get the win. Home against New Mexico, you get the win. San Diego State, Fresno State. You beat San Diego State last year to get to the conference championship game. You're at San Diego this year. They get their revenge. They beat you in San Diego. You finish 8-4, 6-2 in conference. Next up, we got Hawaii with their 13-game schedule. The Hawaii rule, those who don't know, because of travel, you're allowed, and to make up for travel costs, anybody from Hawaii, university from Hawaii, or road teams are allowed to play 13 games a year. Hawaii always plays 13. They do their 8 games, and they do their 5 non-cons to make up some money. And their non-con schedule is at Vanderbilt, week 0. That's an L. Home against Stanford. That's an L. Home against Albany. So Albany, New York goes all the way to Hawaii. Yeah, you get a win on that one. Boo big. But then you go on the road at Oregon. Yeah, Vanderbilt, Stanford, and Oregon for your non-con. And then you face New Mexico State also at home. New Mexico State is a good team, but traveling to Hawaii, they don't really have done well historically. I'm picking Hawaii to beat Mexico State there. On the road at UNLV, you're going to catch that L. So that's a bye. So you're going to have 6 in front of the bye, 7 after. Remember, Hawaii rolls. Home against San Diego State, doesn't matter, you're catching a loss. At New Mexico, New Mexico is going to be the most underperforming team in the Mountain West. Spoiler alert. And you're going to beat New Mexico. Home against San Jose State. This would have been at San Jose State. I would have given San Jose State the win, but because you're at home, I'm giving you the win over San Jose State. It's a coin flip game. At Nevada, going to catch a loss. Home against Air Force, doesn't matter. That triple option tears you up every year. You're going to get a loss. At Wyoming, they're a good team. At the loss. And home against Colorado State, they're going to come in and look for a win to finish their season off. That's a loss for you. So you're going to finish the season 4-9, 2-6 in conference. Now we've got Nevada. They don't have an easy non-con either. They're at USC to start the year. That's a loss. Home against Idaho. That's a win for you. Need something to get going for. Then you go home against Kansas. Rock Chalk Jayhawk beats you, and probably beats you badly, even though they got to travel all the way to Nevada. Reno, they're going to beat you. At Texas State, you're actually going to get a win against Texas State. That's actually going to be a big, big win for your program since you've got your new head coach. It's going to be traveling across country to Texas, and that's based on Bobcat. I think it's Texas State Bobcats, if I remember correctly. You're going to get the win there. You're going to on the road at Fresno. No, that's an L. So you're going to have the bye, come out of the bye at home against UNLV, and unfortunately, the Fremont Cannon's going to be staying belonging to Vegas. You're going to lose that game. At San Diego State, you're going to lose that game. Home against New Mexico, you get the win there. Home against Hawaii, you get the win there. And then you have a tough stretch at Utah State. That's a loss. At Colorado State, this is, like I said, a revenge game, but you're on the road. It's a coin flip game. You, like I said, for Colorado State earlier, you lose that game, and home against Wyoming, you lose that one. So you finish 4-8, 2-6 in conference. Now the aforementioned New Mexico. Yeah, not a good year if you're a Mountain West school. Start off the road of the season at Texas A&M. Yeah, that's a loss. Home against Tennessee Tech. That's a win. Home against in-state rival New Mexico State. Now, they're at home, and Mexico State went to a bowl game last year. But they're at home, so I'm going to give New Mexico the win in the coin flip. At UMass, you're going to get the win. Do the math, folks. They're 3-1. They lose their next 8 straight. They win 3-1 in non-con. They go 0-8 in conference. At Wyoming, what's a loss? That's a bye. 5 in front, 7 after. Home against San Jose State, loss. Home against Hawaii, loss. At Nevada, loss. Home against UNLV, loss. And then these last 3. At Boise State, loss. At Fresno State, loss. And home against Utah State, loss. 3-9, 0-8 in conference. Yikes. Now, subscriber school, San Diego State. They finished 7-6 last year in a rather underperforming season. They still have had I don't remember the last time they allowed a losing season. Brady Hoke back at the helm. Just like at Boise State, Jalen Maiden took over partway through the season, became the starter, and it really helped San Diego State out. But it was up and down for him. Now he gets a chance with also all the starters back as well. See how well he's going to perform. Well, let's see how they do. And they have a week 0 game, so they're going to have 2 bye weeks. So they start at week 0 at home against Ohio. They're going to get a win there. Home against Idaho State. They get a win there. Then they're home against UCLA. Sorry, you're catching a loss, boys. At Oregon State. Oof, tough place to play. You're going to lose that game. Home against Boise. If you had been on the road, I would have called this a win from Boise. But you're at home. Coin flip game. You get the win. At Air Force. Yeah, you get the win, though. You are going to beat Air Force on the road. I was debating on this one, but I think you're going to have enough to pull it off. Then you get your first bye. On the road at Hawaii, you get the win. Home against Nevada, you get the win. Here's your second bye. Home against Utah State, that's a win. At Colorado State, you get the win. At San Jose State. This is the game I was debating on, but realized one thing. Last game of the year is against Fresno. You are chomping at the bit to get back at that game. I think you're going to overlook San Jose State. It's a trap game, and you're going to lose on the road at San Jose to San Jose State. But you're going to come back, as stated earlier, beat Fresno State at home to win that game, as my dryer goes off, as I'm doing clothes right now. Which San Diego State finishes 9-3, 7-1 in conference. San Jose State, aforementioned, have a week 0 game for their schedule. They did pretty good for their San Jose State. They went at USC, week 0. Yeah, you're going to catch a blowout L. I didn't know we're going to lose by 50 or 60 points. Follow that up at home against Oregon State. Do you like being beat up? Lose that game too. Home against Cal Poly, you get the win. At Toledo, I mentioned this earlier when I did the Toledo Rockets video. My dryer keeps talking to me. At Toledo, you're on the road. Toledo's a great team, defending MAC champions. You're going to catch an L there. Home against Air Force. This is a game that's in San Jose State and Air Force are pretty even conference-wise. You're going to have them at home. That's a coin flip game. I'm picking you to beat them. Then you get your first bye. You're on the road at Boise State out of the bye. Doesn't matter. You catch the L. At New Mexico, you get the win. Home against Utah State, you get the win. At Hawaii, on the road, after facing Boise State, Utah State, I think you're going to overlook Hawaii and you're going to fall asleep and lose. I'm double checking to make sure I didn't do this wrong. Yeah. You're going to lose to Hawaii on the road. Then you get your second bye. Home out of the bye, home against Fresno. So the byes are well placed. You face Boise State out of one bye and Fresno State out of the other. Doesn't matter. You catch an L in both games. Home against San Diego State. Like I said, San Diego State overlooking the Fresno State game. You're going to win. Then finish the season at UNLV. I'll get into UNLV, but I'll say this as a precursor to them. A lot of players left when Marcus Arroyo got fired. So their depth is going to be an issue, and Barry Odom is going to fix it in year one. So because of the depth issues and because of injuries, I'm picking San Jose State to beat UNLV. So that means San Jose State finished the season at 6-6, 5-3 in conference. The aforementioned UNLV subscriber school. He lived in Vegas for a long time. A lot of friends back there. Barry Odom, like Marcus Arroyo, had a good season, finished 5-7 last year. They still fired him. One thing about UNLV. Since 2013, when I started paying attention, really being in-depth in college football. Every coach they've had is an offensive mind. Bobby Hauck, now in Montana. Tony Sanchez, Marcus Arroyo. All offensive minds. Well, now they're going defense. And I think this is the right way to do it. They had Bobby Petrino. Remember this fiasco? Had Bobby Petrino for your offensive coordinator. He was there for all of 2 weeks, and now he's the Texas A&M offensive coordinator. But they brought in Brennan Marion, who is was the Texas passing game coordinator. They gave him a chance to be an OC. And Barry Odom brought with him Michael Scherer, the Arkansas linebacker coach, to be the DC. Like I said, a lot of players transferred out, but they have a lot of players back. And some of the key players are back. The offensive player back. And Doug Bremfield, who's been their star QB, is back, and he's healthy. That's big for UNLV. So, how does the Rebels do this year? Well, they start off the season at home against Bryant. Okay, they're going to get the dub there. Then on the road at the Big House at Michigan. Yeah, you're catching a gigantic L in that one. Then home against Vandy. Guess what? Vandy's going to beat you. At UTEP, you're going to get the win there. Home against Hawaii, you get the win there. Then you get your bye, so 5 in front of the bye, 7 after. On the bye, at Nevada, Fremont Cannon, week to prepare. You want this game, you're going to win this game. Home against Colorado State, even though there's a bit of a hangover, you're going to survive this game. But then you go on the road at Fresno, and Fresno's going to beat you up and you're going to lose. Then you go on the road at New Mexico. Mexico's the worst team in the conference. You're going to win that game. But then I think because of lack of depth, because a lot of the depth left, and it's a lot of young players who are coming in and getting to move up, and it's lack of depth issue. Barry Odom's not going to turn this team around in a year, but the home against Wyoming, you're going to lose that game. You're going to be on the road at Air Force. The triple option is going to mess people up. They're going to lose that game. And home against San Jose State, because of injuries, you're going to lose that game. But if you did pay attention to the video, you went 6-6, 4-4 in conference. That means UNLV will be bowl eligible for the first time since the 2013 season when they played Subscriber School, North Texas, in the Heart of Dallas Bowl, excuse me. Well, let's see what happens there. Utah State, next one on the list. Well, Utah State, you're front of the season on the road at Iowa. Iowa's got a lot of problems, but Utah State is not exactly as talented as Iowa, so even with the problems Iowa has, I'm still picking Iowa to win the game. So it's a loss for Utah State. Home against Idaho State, you're going to get the win there. At Air Force, this is kind of a pick-em game in a way, but you're on the road, you lose that game. Home against James Madison. Now, the rule I've always had was if a East Coast team goes west and it's high altitude, then the East Coast team is going to be at the disadvantage from the West Coast team going east. James Madison is just too talented. I'm picking James Madison to beat you, so you're going to get a loss there. But you're going to go on the road at UConn. You're going to go east, and you're more talented than I think UConn is. So you're going to beat them. Home against Colorado State, you're going to catch a win there. Home against Fresno, unfortunately, it's a loss. At San Jose State is going to be another loss. Then you get your bye. So 8 in front, 4 after. Then you go at San Diego State out of the bye. You're going to lose that one. I'm sorry. You're going to be home against Nevada, catch a win there. Home against Boise, that's going to be another loss. But on the road at New Mexico to get a win. You finish the season at 5-7, 4-4 in conference. Now comes the aforementioned Wyoming, who has a good season, had a good season last year, and see how they can build upon it. Well, this year they're at home, start off week 1 against Texas Tech. Unfortunately, you're going to catch a loss, Texas Tech going to Wyoming. That's interesting. Home against Portland State, yeah, you'll get the win there. At Texas, week 3, yeah, gigantic L. Week 4, home against Appalachian State. Appalachian State, I don't think is going to be as good as they were last year, so that puts them on a more level playing field with Wyoming. This isn't the playing field with Wyoming. And they're traveling cross-country, high altitude in Wyoming, so that makes this more even. So I'm going to actually call Wyoming to, some people would say upset Appalachian State, but I think they're pretty even, but you're going to get the win. Home against New Mexico, there's another win. Then you go home against Fresno State, that's a loss. Then you're on the road at Air Force. Air Force is a lot even with a lot of teams in the conference, but you're on the road. I think you're going to lose that game. Then you get the bye. So 7 in front of the bye, 5 after. You come out of the bye at Boise. Yeah, that's a loss. Home against Colorado, lost if you're here. But then a little bit of good news happens. Home against Colorado State, that's a win. At UNLV, that's a win. Home against Hawaii, that's a win. At Nevada, that's a win. So after the Boise game, it's actually pretty manageable the rest of the way. They finished the season at 7-5, 5-3 in conference. And one school I forgot to mention, I actually put them out of order here, and that's my fault for being a dummy, is Air Force. I didn't do them first. That's my fault. But we'll do them right now. Oh, well. Home against Air Force. Well, they start the season home against Robert Morris. That's a win. Then they go on the road at Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, I was debating on this one. I was really, really debating on this one. Because Sam Houston State's has surprised some people. And I'm debating back and forth on this one. I've looked at some of the things they have and the talent they have coming up, and I just decided to hell with it. I think you're going to go on the road and lose to Sam Houston State. You're going to get upset on the road. Then home against Utah State, you're going to win. At San Jose State, that's a loss. Home against San Diego State, that's a loss. Then you get the bye. 5 in front, 7 after. Home against Wyoming, big win. Then you play a neutral site game, because this is Air Force, the Commander's Trophy, home against Navy in Denver. You get the win. At Colorado State, you get the win. Home against Army in Denver, that's a win. At Hawaii, that's a win. Home against UNLV, that's a win. But on the road to finish the season at Boise State, you're going to catch a loss to finish the season 8-4, 5-3. That's my pen, everything flies everywhere. In conference. Get these back alphabetically correct again. So, what does this mean? Well, we're going to go from the bottom to the top. The conference record to the top. Bottom of the conference, New Mexico, 3-9, 0-8 in conference. Then Hawaii, 4-9, 2-6 in conference. Colorado State, 3-9, 2-6 in conference. Nevada, 4-8, 2-6 in conference. Utah State, 5-7, 4-4 in conference. UNLV, 6-6, 4-4 in conference. Wyoming, 7-5, 5-3 in conference. Air Force, 8-4, 5-3 in conference. San Jose State, 6-6, 5-3 in conference. Why are they ahead of the other two? Because they beat both the other two. They beat Air Force and they beat Wyoming. That's why they're ahead. I did that with the tie breaks where I could do the tie breaks. UNLV and Utah State is not, so I went with better record, which was 6-6 over 5-7. Fresno State 8-4, 6-2 in conference, and the top two schools finished both 9-3, 7-1. That's San Diego State and Boise State, which means the game be played in San Diego. You play them early in the year, San Diego State. But unfortunately for you, they're going to come to your building and they're going to beat you. I'm picking Boise State to beat San Diego State to win the Mountain West Conference Championship. That's my prediction for this upcoming season, as my dryer keeps going off at me. So why don't you tell me what you think about this video and tell me about it in the comments. So thanks everybody for watching this video. If you haven't done already, please smash the like button, hit the thumbs up. It helps with the algorithm. It helps the video be seen by more people. Comment on the video. I have subscriber schools here. I'm going to be hearing about it in the comments. Let me know what you think about it. Am I wrong about certain teams or not? Did I reach on anybody or didn't reach? Let me know what you think. And subscribe to the channel. On the way to 500 subscribers, slowly but surely on that crawl up to 1,000 so we can make some things happen. So thanks everybody for watching the video. I'm at home. I'm going to be getting this laundry done, and then we're going to work on doing the Sunbelt Conference today. And maybe do one more today since we're kind of late getting home. Tomorrow is going to be cranking out the Power 5. Might do Notre Dame later tonight, too, if I can. That way you can just do the Power 5 tomorrow, and that'll be the end of it for the predictions. Like I told you, I'm going to crank all these predictions out over this weekend. So thanks, everybody, for watching the video. Hope everybody's having a great Friday evening. Be safe out there, and please, be good to each other.